Yeah, it's a huge, first of all, again, thank you for having me. It's an honor. It's an honor to speak to your countrymen and women. I really appreciate wonderful fight country that you come from, the Philippines. So with UFC Fight Pass, the idea is not just to do mixed martial arts, but to do all combat sports. So I commentate MMA, I commentate boxing, of course, I commentate submission grappling, I commentate Letway in Myanmar, where I'll be back in August. It's all combat sports. And the idea is to attract fight fans, not just from MMA, but from other global fight sports, bringing them all together under UFC Fight Pass. Now, when we're here in Japan and Tokyo, we'll be fighting in Chiba. This is historic because the UFC has obviously had numerous, hundreds of UFC world title fights, but this is the first time that the UFC on Fight Pass will actually have a boxing world title fight. So Ioka versus Palicte for the WBO 115-pound world title in boxing is huge. It's a step up. This is something that Fight Pass probably wouldn't have done 2-3 years ago. Getting into boxing through Roy Jones Jr. Promotions, Roy Jones Jr., Keith Veltri out of Las Vegas in the United States, and now expanding from the monthly cards we do to this world title fight. I'm honored to be here. I'm thrilled to be here. It's going to be an amazing fight, and there's a lot of buzz about this in the United States. And I'm such a massive fan of all combat sports and boxing, and I'm honored to be calling a world title fight. I've called a few world title fights in boxing, many more in mixed martial arts, but this is something that's really special. I think with Ioka and with Palicte, you have two fighters, even at a smaller weight, like 115 pounds, have legitimate knockout power. Now, Ioka, one of Japan's, I think, all-time great, maybe the greatest Japanese boxer of his generation, trying to win a world title in 4 weight classes now, something no other Japanese fighter has ever accomplished. To me, a lot of this comes down to range. Palicte is much taller. Very, very tall, obviously, for a 115-pound fighter. He's tall for a 126-pound fighter. Has a snap jab, but doesn't just sit on the outside. He's someone who comes in, throws big shots. His knockout rate is impressive, even more so for his weight class at 115 pounds to generate that power. Kazuto Ioka is so talented. He is so smooth. He's such a good mover. And when I was interviewing him earlier, I asked him about his perceived advantages, and he said perhaps speed and experience, and I would agree with that. He's more experienced, having been a world champion in 3 different weight classes, and he's got that speed. So it's simple maybe to say that this comes down to the speed of Ioka versus the power of Palicte, but in many ways it does. There are a lot of other factors, but really, can that speed shine through, or can Palicte land those big punches and maybe end this fight early? It's a brilliant matchup. Yeah, you asked me a great question, and I think the television world is changing, not just in the Philippines, not just in the United States, but worldwide. 20 years ago, you were seeing fights on cable TV and then going to pay-per-view, and now it's to a digital platform. So with UFC Fight Pass, I know as a commentator, it's my favorite audience because everybody who is watching, whether I'm calling boxing, MMA, Letway, submission grappling, Muay Thai, it doesn't matter. I know I'm speaking to real fight fans. Those are the people watching. There's nothing about, well, you have to maybe talk down to people, which I refuse to do as a commentator. But I know that these are very smart, educated fight fans, not just watching in the United States and Canada, but watching worldwide because Fight Pass is a global platform. This is the worldwide broadcast in English we're doing on UFC Fight Pass. I think it's brilliant now with technology that you have a platform like UFC Fight Pass where you pay a very small monthly fee and you're literally getting thousands and thousands of hours every month of professional combat sports in this wide array. And it just raises the level when you have a WBO 115-pound world title fight with 2 absolutely brilliant fighters like Ioka and Palicte coming together. It's only going to elevate, it's only going to increase. And again, I'm absolutely honored to be here. I was the last English language commentator for Pride, so my first time in Japan was well over a decade ago. And I've been here for MMA. I since came back with M1. But to be here now for boxing is really special. Yeah, I would strongly encourage you, everyone watching in the Philippines, to subscribe to UFC Fight Pass. It's not just for those in the United States, it's a global platform. You're going to see boxing, you're going to see Letway, you're going to see Muay Thai, MMA, of course, submission grappling, so worldwide platform. And for those of you in the beautiful country of the Philippines, a country I love, have so much respect, a beautiful country, beautiful people, beautiful culture, you understand fighting. It's one of the great fight countries, the Philippines, in the world. Subscribe to UFC Fight Pass, see this world title fight, see your national hero Aston Palicte, and then stay and see all of the thousands and thousands of hours of combat sports you will see throughout the year. Again, it's the next wave. We're not in an era anymore where we're just watching TV. We're going online, seeing the fights. You can get exactly what you want as a fight fan. UFC Fight Pass.